Gamers, fevers, burgers. Grab your snacks. The underdog, the legend in his own mind. Jaybeazt, dropping memes and bringing heat. Jaybeazt, streaming starting, pull up a seat. Breaking news, trailers dropped. I reacted, maybe sound a bit shocked. New game hype, I got the tea. Call of Duty, Battlefield, come watch me. Not a big shot, just starting out. But I'll hype your chat and hype my clout. My aim's kinda bad, my joke's kinda worse, but at least I never stream with rehearse. Jaybeazt, underdog with gamer streak. Jaybeazt, laughs, reacts, chaos you seek. Warning. Jaybeazt, you may mispronounce your favorite game. Please remain calm. Chat's alive, memes flying fast. I may fail, but it's always a blast. Subscriber hype, not just some friends. But the fun and chaos never ends. Reacting, chatting, sometimes I play. Even if I die in the first 5 minutes. Hey, new game breakdown, I'll nerd out loud. Making jokes, looking goofy, maybe proud. Jaybeazt, underdog, but bringing fire. Jaybeazt, love by beats, memes and satire. Who's in chat? Beast back. What's the game? Total snack. Level up? Maybe not yet. But we laugh, we hype, you won't forget. Achievements, sure, but I miss a lot. Glitches, bugs, rage quits I've caught. But while the pros are flexing loot, I'm here, underdog with style and cute. Streaming news, trailers, reactions too. Sometimes I even know what I'm doing, kinda true. Chat laughs, memes fly, and everyone's hyped. Welcome to Jaybeazt, the underdog is live tonight. Jaybeazt, underdog, chaotic streak. Jaybeazt, gaming news, laughs, you seek. Not a pro, but never weak. Gosh, Jaybeazt may mispronounce your thing, mispronounce a game, or make you laugh uncontrollably. Stream starting now. The fifth out.
Well, hello there. Welcome to 2026, guys. This is gonna be my first stream of the year. I'm sorry that it has taken a little while longer than expected. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I came down with a bit of a migraine situation and couldn't keep my eyes open. So apologies for that. But here we are in 2026, and feels like we're already off to a pretty eventful start all over the world. I'm not going to get into those, but we do have a couple of, or more than a couple of things to discuss today, which I will be doing. Fun stuff, fun stuff. We have, I also might want to, I don't know, I might actually talk about High Guard because it's coming this month. It's been the talk of the town ever since it got revealed in the Game Awards last year. But yeah, don't know what to expect from that, but we'll get into that. This I feel like it's only been what 8 days since 2026 started, and I feel like a lot is already happening. Not necessarily good things, but a lot of things. A lot of things. And yeah, we will talk about all of that. I'm gonna try to keep things brief and short as much as I can, but you know how it is. I try, but it's not always. It doesn't always work out. Uh, so yeah, I'll try. I'll try. This year, that's gonna be my New Year resolution is to try to keep things brief and try to stick to the point and try to keep my videos short as much as possible. But I make no promises. We'll see. We'll see. And also, guys, I think in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be reshuffling a few things around for the new year. Starting with the stream schedule, which I am going to be doing just a weekend stream. So if you go into my channels, you already see that I've updated it to say that I'm streaming every Saturday. So it's going to be a Saturday stream every week instead of having a couple of streams, mostly because I want to be more selective with the stuff type of stuff that I discuss. I already am, but I feel like most of the weeks, especially the midweek ones, I do the stream and I talk about the stuff that I found interesting, and we have fun. But then literally like a couple of hours later or the next day, there's like some big news drops, and then I'm like, I want to talk about that, and I miss my chance. So I wait until the weekend to talk about it anyway. So I decided, okay, I'm just gonna see how the week plays out and then do my stream that way. I might change it up a little bit depending on like how much stuff is going on. Obviously, I might do extra streams here and out, here and there, but mainly I'll stick to just one, and then we can have fun. We can have fun the weekend. But like I said, I might change it up a little bit. But like this one today, I'm doing, which is on a Thursday, but it's fine. We're having fun, right? And then also, um, I want to be a little bit more selective on the type of videos that I put out as well this year. Now that I'm not saying that my channel is taking over anything, the YouTube channel, which also it has got 183 subs now, which is amazing. I feel very amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those who subscribed. Thank you for those who like and share my content and comment on my content. Even the negative ones, I welcome it. And thank you for engaging with it. I really, really appreciate it. And it feels amazing. It's been almost just over 6 months now. And it feels really, really awesome to have built an audience and have the level of engagement that I'm getting right now, which is feels fantastic, and I want to continue to do that. But I want to be a little bit more selective so I can focus on delivering more quality stuff rather than just stuff, you know, just for the sake of it. So that's my goal for this year. So you'll see a lot more curated stuff coming out rather than just talking about everything, almost everything that's going on. But I want to make it a two-way street. I want to have you let me know what you would like me to talk about as well. So if you have stuff that you'd like to talk about, drop down in the comments in the videos. I check literally every comment that I get. I check them. I try to reply to all of them actually. So um, drop down in the comments. You can even drop um, a DM on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I don't use it much, but you can do that. Also on TikTok, you can DM me on there as well. And yeah, just let me know what you like to talk about, and we'll talk about it. It'll be fun. So yeah, I wanna do that more curated stuff this year. So you'll see that happening. Speaking of curated stuff, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a demo that I tried a couple of months ago by it's for a game that's set to come out this year, made by a Sri Lankan dev team, actually a two-person dev team, indie game developers called Dazzling Divine, and their game is called Journey Through the Undead. And they asked me to try a demo, and I did, and I provided some feedback. And there's a video in my channel if you guys want to go check it out. And it's a fantastic game for a very small team of just two people, but it wasn't perfect. It had a lot of issues that I pointed out, good things, bad things, and they have been kind enough to come back to me and asked me to try out the full game ahead of its release, which is coming on 15th of January. So just over 6 days to go now. Um, yeah, and yeah, they asked me to check it out, and they were kind enough to provide me with a Steam key ahead of release to try the full game, and I'm in the middle of trying it out right now. And I'm planning to put out a review, more of first impressions video, on the day of its release. I'm not gonna, obviously I won't spoil the game for you, so I'll be putting only the early gameplay footage, but yeah, and yeah, just as of right now, all I can say is they have listened to my feedback and they have made significant improvements in some departments, which I'm happy to report. Obviously, I'm not getting paid for this or anything. They just asked me if I can do that, and I say yes, because why the hell not? I'd like to support these indie devs, and hit too close to home, man. It's Sri Lankan devs, and they're trying to get something off the ground. They don't. They are graphic designers, don't not having a lot of prior game development experience, so they're kind of learning on the job as well. Given all of that, it's actually pretty good. So anyway, look out for that video to drop in a few days. Um, Actually, be dropping it on 15th of January. That's when the game is releasing. So I'm gonna try to get it out on the same day as the release, if not before. Um, yeah, and I'm also working on a few other curated game video ideas. I haven't done a deep dive in a while, which I want to do as well. Um, and I'm happy to report I finally properly got into Arc Raiders. Yeah, I've been playing Battlefield a lot, which I still do, by the way. I still do. But I decided to try Arc Raiders. I have tried the beta testing and the server slam one, and it was all right. I mean, sorry, I didn't get to play long enough to actually like the game as much, but then the hype for the game has been unreal. And it won the best multiplayer at the Game Awards, and everyone's been talking about it. It's all over the internet. So I've been wanting to try, but the thing is, I know if you play it by yourself, it's kind of shit. It kind of is. So I wanted to have a mate or two to play that with. And I've been trying to convince my mates to buy the game and play it together, because everybody that I play with, they play Battlefield, and it's been a hard time trying to convince them. Ali, I'm looking at you, man. You're the last remaining one, and you and Midi, if you can get in, that'd be awesome. If you're listening or lurking, I don't know if you are here. It will be good. But yeah, I found a mate, actually an old mate of mine. We reconnected through Battlefield, and then he's been wanting to play Arc Raiders, so have I. And he bought the game, and I ended up buying the game, and we had a good session, had a lot of fun. So I'm properly hooked on the game. I can tell you that much. So I plan to put in a lot more time into that, and hopefully get my other buddies to buy the game so we can all play together. That would be nice. Um, so yeah, just want to see how that will pan out. We'll keep you updated. Probably gonna try and do a couple of streams on that as well, so you get to see all the shenanigans we get up to. So that would be nice. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. So that's happening in the background as well. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna jump into the stuff that I was gonna talk about today, starting with um, Witcher 3. You guys know Witcher 3 is literally one of my all-time favorite games. Sorry, just having a sip of my latte. Actually, this is a flat white. To be specific. Anyway, yeah. So Witcher 3, it's been a while since Wild Hunt drops. And we already now we're getting, Witcher 4. They're working on Witcher 4 actively. We know that. But I think in a previous stream or something like that, I'm not sure whether we actually talked about it, or something I thought in my head. I'm not sure, but hang on, give me a second. Let me let me actually set this up properly. So yeah, okay. So yeah, so Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is reportedly set to receive a new DLC in 2026, which is this year. And this is apparently being developed by a third-party developer called Fool's Theory. And according to what it says here, I'm just reading the article from Insider Gaming. Um, about reports about a new Witcher 3 DLC have been circulating online since June 2025. That's right. We have been talking about a possible DLC for Witcher 3 that will kind of set up the Witcher 4, kind of set up Witcher 4 in time for its release. We've been sort of hearing a lot about a possibility of a DLC drop into Witcher 3 in time for Witcher 4 and sort of explain the proper continuation and handover of the mental of the Witcher from Geralt to Ciri. We've been expecting to see that at some point, either from Witcher, the beginning of Witcher 4 or as a DLC for Witcher 3. And we knew that the likelihood of that's happening is probably as a DLC for Witcher 3 because it's a great way for people to come back to Witcher 3 and play the game again and also give some goodies for people while they wait for Witcher 3, you know? And it could be a fair bit of marketing, free marketing actually, for Witcher 4 and Witcher 3. So that's what we talked about. Um, uh, but the thing is, we were expecting that, but the details of the DLC never really got announced last year. We were expecting that they would announce it last year, but never happened. But now they've got new details surfacing online thanks to this a Polish Nobel securities analyst, which provide an expected release window for the DLC as well as The Witcher 4. So that's something, and I just want to show you guys that actually. And hang on. Let me set up my window. You know, give me a second. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. Is that full screen? Minimal display. Oh, there you go. That's good. Hang on, what's happening here? Why is this in a weird spot? Okay, I'm gonna just move this here because that is not right. Let's do that. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, so let me just move this a little bit. Alright, there you go. Now we can read. So here it is. Spotted by Eurogamer, Polish Nobel securities analyst. Uh, I'm gonna butcher this name, so I'm so sorry about that. Mateusz Krasnowski spoke about The Witcher 3's new DLC releasing in May 2026. Uh, Krasnowski has stated that The Witcher 3's next paid DLC will arrive in May 2026 and will be developed by Fool's Theory, who are also working on The Witcher 1 remake. The new expansion is expected to kick off the proper marketing campaign for The Witcher 4. The analyst also predicted that The Witcher 4 will release in Q4 of 2027. That's interesting. I mean, that's a realistic time, I think. 2027 Q4 is probably when I would have expected that to drop as well. But I think it's most likely to get pushed to 2028, to be realistic. Eurogamer also followed up on the original source, Boris Niespik, Juliak, oh god, I'm so sorry, who stated that the information about The Witcher 3's 2026 DLC has been verified by several independent sources. He also pointed to a statement from CD Projekt Red's recent earnings call, which stated that given our current progress, there is a chance that new content hinted upon in recent calls and reports may see release in the coming year. However, CD Projekt Red's official response states that the company does not comment on rumor or speculation. I think every time when a company has a leak of some sort and they come out and say that they don't comment on rumor and speculation, that itself is a pretty good sign, an indicator that the leak or the rumor is somewhat has some truth in it, at least if not entirely true. You know, that there's got to be some truth to it, because if it is completely false, they will come out and say they will deny it, and they'll say, okay, you know what, nah, that's not right, that's not true. They'll say it because they don't want bad publicity or false publicity, um, or false advertising happening on their behalf. So they will be quick to deny such a situation. So every time they don't say anything, that's a pretty good indication that it is true, or at least some of it is. So that's what I take from that. So I guess the whoever this analyst from Eurogamer, whatever they found, that has to have some level of truth to it, if not all of it. And CDPS is now in a situation that they can't confirm it because they are, then that will sort of put them ahead of schedule. So I get it. I get it. I mean, Ubisoft is kind of in the same boat with Assassin's Creed Resynced, Black Flag remake. Um, it's a famous secret at this point. Everyone knows about it, but they are neither confirming nor denying the existence of it. So yeah, I get it. Happens all the time. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much just the news. It's not a lot of news, but it makes sense. It completely makes sense that it's getting a DLC. It makes complete sense because if you really think about it, it's it just it just makes complete sense for a game like that to, Witcher 3 to be linked and have a direct link to the start of Witcher 4, because we're seeing Ciri after such a long time, and it's not the same Ciri that we used to in the Witcher 3 game. She's much more grown up, although she's not seasoned as Geralt. She's still a newbie Witcher, but she is a couple of years later. We see her a couple of years later after the events of Witcher 3. So it makes sense to have a quest line or a mission or two to throw in Witcher 3 to see how the events of Witcher 3, or rather after the events of Witcher 3, have led to the beginning of the events of Witcher 4, because that's just good storytelling. So makes sense. I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. Just force this. Force. Yeah, and I can't wait for Witcher 4 already as well. Like this has become one of the most highly anticipated games for me personally. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm super hyped for GTA 6 to drop, but I feel like I am just a tiny bit more hyped for Witcher 4. Not gonna lie. Um, I know. Uh, I'm a weirdo like that, but I really am. And after seeing all of this, whatever they showed, the technical showcase of it, even though it's a tech demo, I know it's not the actual game. It's like, it's hyping me up quite a bit, man. So that's where I'm at. Hmm. Anyway, dude, there's a whole bunch of like concerning stuff's going on at Ubisoft already like 7 8 days into the new year. um I just spotted this while I was looking through the articles today, and then I came across this one about Ubisoft closing Halifax studio just after employees unionized. Yeah, this is a little bit concerning for me because I don't know if you guys remember, um, just like I don't know, a couple of months ago, Rockstar was facing something similar situation because they had a whole bunch of people secretly trying to form a union, and those people got fired over allegations of leaking internal information to the public. I don't know what happened to that actually. I don't know whether it's been proven to be right or wrong, but they were saying because they were fired because Rockstar was trying to union bust them and stop them from forming a union and all that. So it was a big deal. It was they were doing look they were doing all these letters, and there was a lawsuit involved, and like there's a lot of stuff going on with Rockstar. The thing is still going on. It's still not. I don't think it's ended. Um, they were marching in front of like the Rockstar offices in UK. It's a hot mess. It was a hot mess. So it was funny and almost ironic for me to see this headline pop up with Ubisoft closing Halifax studios just after employees unionized, which sounds so bad. And you know, Ubisoft already has a lot of goodwill that they need to restore, and be in the news with this sort of thing is not a good look, dude. It's not a good look. So the article has been updated, but before it did, essentially what it was saying was the layoffs across the video game industry are getting started early in 2026. Yeah, Ubisoft has announced the closure of Ubisoft Halifax. This means there will be 71 people losing their jobs. 71 is a big number for a studio, man. That's a lot of people losing their jobs out of nowhere. The news of the studio shutdown comes just days after it was announced that 61 of the studio's employees joined the Game and Media Workers Guild of Canada, local whatever. The certification for the union came on December 18, 2025, and was branded as the Ubisoft Workers of Canada Halifax. In a statement, Ubisoft says that decision comes after 2 years of company-wide actions to streamline operations. I don't know. I don't know. Do you believe that crap? Um, I just want to see Halifax. What did they make? Use of Halifax. Just going on their Wikipedia and see what games they have made. Okay, so they have made Rainbow Six Mobile, Assassin's Creed Rebellion. Is that all they have made? Okay. Playtest. Did they only make 2 games? That's not right. They should have at least helped with other games, right? I'm just doing. That's nice. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Rebellion and Rainbow Six Mobile. Okay, so it's primarily mobile game studio. It seems like. Okay, okay. Well, there it is. Couldn't find a wiki page or anything about them, but I only did a quick Google search. If you If they have made other games that I don't know about, let me know. But yeah, they have primarily made Rainbow Six Mobile and Assassin's Creed Rebellion. Anyway, so they're getting the axe um, just months. Oh, sorry. Just months. Sorry, not months. Just days into them being unionized, which I don't think is a coincidence. But this is what Ubisoft has stated, though. Over the past 24 months, so a course of 2 years, Ubisoft has undertaken company wide actions to streamline operations, improve efficiency, and reduce costs. The company said, as part of this, Ubisoft has made the difficult decision to close its Halifax studio. 71 positions will be affected. We are committed to supporting all impacted team members during this transition with resources, including comprehensive severance packages and additional career assistance. The decisions, Ubisoft claims, was made well before the staff unionized. Ubisoft added that it respected its employees' right to join a union. Insider Gaming has reached out for a statement from members of the union. Should that be received, it will be added to this story. So they were working on two mobile games, but yeah, so they were given the axe, and this is the update here on top. CWA Canada has issued a statement regarding the shutdown. In a release provided to Insider Gaming, the union says it will pursue every legal resource to protect the members within the studios. In Canada, it is unlawful for a business to close because its workers decided to unionize. While while we are not saying that this is what happened here, we will be demanding information from Ubisoft about the reason for the sudden decision to close. So it looked like on paper, on the surface, it looks very much like Ubisoft decided to close the studio, the entire studio, right after they unionized. This could be a really, really bad timing and a really awful coincidence, or this could be something they have been planning for a while. Um, they, I mean, it could be a bit of both. They might have been planning to shut down the studio for a while, but the the talks about unionizing might have made it a quicker decision. I don't know, or it could be totally unrelated. Look, those two things could be totally unrelated, but now we're finding a connection because this type of shit happened before, especially with very recently with Rockstar, and it's been a huge issue and it's still ongoing. So you can't blame people to making that connection and thinking, okay, Ubisoft might have done some union busting on their own. But again, if that is actually the case, I wouldn't be completely surprised to hear that either. But given how much Ubisoft has been struggling in the past year with all the changes they have been going through, especially with the merging of their IPs with Tencent, the cash injection that they got towards their biggest IP like Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, which is one of the games that Halifax will have been working on, the mobile version, and Assassin's Creed, which is another one that Tencent's working on. Um, well, not working on, Tencent investing on. So I guess after Tencent acquired part ownership of those IPs, and they had this joint studio, I think it's called Vantage Studios, I believe. So it's a joint studio by Ubisoft and Tencent looking after the biggest IPs of Ubisoft: Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and what else? Far Cry, and those are the biggest IPs, and they're now moving forward. It's going to be managed by a joint venture between Tencent and Ubisoft. So it kind of makes sense. After off the back of that shuffle, there were a lot of layoffs and there were a lot of reshuffling of resources within Ubisoft main studios. So this is probably related to that, especially given the games that they have been working on, which is Rainbow Six Mobile and Assassin's Creed Rebellion, both mobile games, but now they're both owned partly by Tencent. and they have a say in what goes now with those IPs. So it could be that they have decided Halifax don't need to be working on these IPs anymore because they got their own thing, and it's going to be a different thing moving forward. And because of that, the entire studio has to be let go because they don't need them anymore, quite frankly, as a business. So it could be what happened, but we don't know. We don't know. It's really hard to take sides, and especially with Ubisoft right now, with their recent games bombing so hard, and they making anti-consumer decisions, and just just being weird. Uh, but they've been trying to recover, and they've done some good stuff, like with the free Mirage DLC, and trying to make it work with Assassin's Creed Shadows and everything, and with the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake upcoming. They're trying to recover. They're trying to get on the good side of the gamers again, but it is still hard to give them a pass and like think of them as the good guys still because of all these things that's been happening with them. So yeah, I guess the 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 what is the union people, they will probably be chasing this with Ubisoft in Canada, and we'll probably try to get answers, and there'll be more updates. But right now, that's the situation, and it's ongoing, and it is unfortunate that 71 people in a Ubisoft studio has been just let go, just like that. And what a way to start the year, man! Like just only 8 days into the new year, and you start the whole new year with like positive positive hopes, big hopes for the year. And they all those people must have been on cloud nine, thinking, "Oh my God, we finally managed to join a union. We got some safety, we got some backup." And then, bam, the next day, you're fired. And the whole studio is fired and let go, and you don't have a job anymore. That's a tough situation to be in, especially at the start of the year, man. So I feel for those devs, and this is, unfortunately, this is not new. This happens all the time with these big companies. It's gonna happen. It's gonna keep happening. Um, but yeah, this is the first of many for 2026. Unfortunately, let me know what you guys think of this situation. As always. Okay. You know how I hang on. Before I do that, I'm gonna sip on my latte a little bit. Latte. Oh man, it's gonna be a hot day tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that. It's gonna be 40 degrees down here in Melbourne. Who's looking forward to that? Let me know who's looking forward to that. Anyway, I want to talk about Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders CEO has come out and said the game isn't about shooting other players. Well, look at that. I mean, who would have thunk that the game isn't about shooting other players, dude? I mean, this is just off the back of like we receiving news that our creators indeed doing play style based matchmaking. Like, remember like, a couple of days ago they confirmed that they're actually matching more aggressive players who are going after other players with the same type of people, whereas the friendlies get matched with friendlies. Kind of makes sense. I mean, I just started playing Arc Raiders, and I can't have a lot of say in this because I haven't experienced the full thing yet. But I can tell you, for the amount I have played, it just feels nice to come across friendlies and not get shot. You you had to be able to have a mutual understanding, um, and go on your merry way and greet each other and be civil. That feels nice. That feels nice because all you do, okay, if you're like me, someone who's been playing Battlefield, all you do is whoever come across you, you just shoot them. That's what you're supposed to do in the game. So nothing else. You just shoot, right? um, game shooting. That's what I'm talking about. Um, so it feels nice to not having to do that and to have that returned back to you. And even though you can technically do it if you want to, it feels nice to just come across people in the open world and just be able to greet them and ask them not to shoot, and then have the same mutual understanding, and then say hello and go on your merry way, and just continue your mission. Feels nice. It feels nice, and I understand. Every now and then you're gonna get an asshole or two. You're gonna get an asshole or two. Um, just shooting you as soon as they see you, and that's okay. One or two you can bear, but if everyone started doing it, it would be shit. So it makes sense that they're trying to limit that from happening by matching aggressive players with other fellow aggressive players, and matching friendlies with other friendlies, and so you'll have like very minimal amount of encounters in terms of PvP, because the whole point is PvPvE. Yeah. Anyway, so the CEO of Embark Studios, who made Arc Raiders, have revealed that they don't wish to promote PvP systems as they don't want to foster that type of gameplay. To be honest, that actually makes a lot of sense to me, because Arc Raiders is undoubtedly one of the standout titles of 2025. Like, even if you haven't played, and if you have no interest in ever playing it, even you would agree that it's been a huge success in 2025, and it continued to be this year. And there's no signs of slowing down anytime soon, especially now that it's actually hit a new milestone of 12 million units sold. One of them being me, I just bought it as well. And and the player count is also growing, and actually, if not growing, actually staying at a steady pace. Whereas, other games like even Battlefield has seen a decline of player base, which is normal for games like this anyway. But Arc Raider has been different. Arc Raiders still managed to retain the player largely the same amount of player base since the launch, and it's going really well. And a lot of people I have seen on the internet, they have requested to see more PvP systems in place, but it kind of makes sense that the devs don't want to do that, because they aren't looking to go all in on PvP to keep the fire burning, since the game wasn't designed with that as a focus. Makes sense. Makes sense. And this is what they had to say. They're saying during an interview with GameBeats Dean Takahashi, or IGN, Embark Studio CEO Patrick Soderlund revealed why they aren't looking to promote PvP systems. The CEO first mentioned discussions about adding Nemesis systems. However, they don't know where the team is at right now, and are also happy that the game doesn't have a leaderboard and is not competitive. Soderlund adds that the dev team doesn't want to necessarily foster that type of gameplay, as the game isn't about shooting other players, of course. The game allows you to be aggressive and fight other players, but the ethos of the game has never been to go in and shoot players. The PvP element was added to craft tension. So it does. The Embark CEO then spoke about the game being designed to be played without other players for a long time, and noted that this worked quite well in some instances. However, as soon as other players were added, the dev team had to resort to subtle ways of signaling rather than telling you how many players are on the server, how many have died, etc. Yeah, okay. Hence, Arc Raiders is all about players using audio and visual cues when engaging in PvP situations. Players need to hear other players shooting and see Raider flares go up to see where the action is. Not providing all the information at once creates tension, forcing players to decide whether exploring the area where the action is a risk worth taking. However, the CEO also said that the private servers in Arc Raiders are absolutely something we could consider, and that could be an excellent addition for players looking for more PvP action. On other news, okay, I don't need to see other news, but that's I feel like that's just common sense for our creators at this point. I think for those who are swearing by the game and die by it, and really enjoy their time at our creators, do so, because you don't have those PvP tension moments a lot. You only get a handful. You don't get, like, you get just enough to keep that tension and that momentum to move forward, like, to keep it going, but not to the point that you get exhausted by these encounters all the time and you just, can't complete your missions. Like, that would be annoying, because at the core it is an extraction shooter and you're completing missions with your duo or trio, and you're supposed to be focusing on doing that, and you're trying to be stealthy, trying to complete missions, stay away from the big robot spiders, arcs, and try to complete your missions, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing. So, having to constantly worry about dying by other players would actually make a really crappy experience. So I think CEO made the right call here, but I don't know. What do you guys think? As always, do you think that they made the right call? I think they did, but if you don't, leave a comment down below in the comments if you're watching this later on YouTube. If not, if you're lurking, just drop a hi and say if you agree with me or not. Anyway, so that's our creators. And speaking of our creators, I'm gonna be dropping some serious hours into that soon, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, okay, okay. Moving on with my latte. Okay, I wanna look at There's a launch US special from Blood of Dawnwalker devs, the Rebel Wolves. They put out a video. I haven't watched it, so I want to watch it with you. 7 First Light PC specs. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I. Look at it. Never mind. Yeah, so 007 PC specs have been revealed, and this is coming just more than 4 months before the game's May 27 release. It was supposed to release on March and they delayed it to May. Hopefully, it doesn't get delayed again. They also announced a collaboration with Nvidia that will allow the studio to deliver a PC experience that matches the level of quality we believe the Bond franchise deserves. That's what they said, word to word, apparently. But yeah, what they say, what they're saying here is performance, responsiveness, and visual fidelity. It all needs to feel effortless for the player, and NVIDIA GeForce RTX technologies, including DLSS 4, enables us to deliver exactly that. Mhm. So, these are the minimum and recommended specs below. They're all for 1080p, by the way. They haven't even provided an option for 1440p, which is what I would say. I mean, most gamers are still playing 1080p. That's fine, but I think a significant amount of playing games at 1440p, including myself. Both my monitors are 1440p, and I love playing in that spec because I think that just hits the sweet spot in terms of the gaming resolution. Because like having 4K right next to your eyes doesn't really, it doesn't. It's overkill. But 1080p can sometimes be like it's okay, but 1440p I think gives a little bit more detail, and it just strikes the the balance between 1080p and 4K. So I stick with that most of the time. So I think a lot of people, as far as I know, do play 1440p, and increasingly so. Um, so it is weird that they haven't even provided specs for that, but this is what they have come up with. Uh, PC specs minimum. They got Intel Core i5 an AMD Ryzen 5 3500 graphics card, NVIDIA GTX 1660, that's fine. Intel discrete GPU equivalent RAM, 16 gigabytes. Video RAM to be 8 gigabytes. And storage will be 80. Just to get 1080p and 30 FPS. That's minimum. Okay. And here's recommended. Recommended settings. Okay. You need a 360 Ti or 6700, whatever. Yeah, that's minimum. RAM, you need 32 gigabytes of RAM and video RAM of 12 gigabytes. And yeah, this is still 80 gigabytes. Just to get 1080p 60 FPS. Dude, I mean, I don't know. I feel like for a game like 007 First Light, which I believe is a very narrative focused game. Yes, you have sandbox areas, but they're very small compared to an open world game. Having to have 32 gigabytes of RAM and video RAM of 12 gigabytes just to achieve 1080p resolution at 60 frames per second feels like poor optimization for me. Please tell me if it's not the case, because to me that feels like they could have done a little bit of a better job to request to have 32 GB RAM and 12 GB video RAM just to achieve 1080p at 60 FPS in 2026 on these cards. I get those graphic cards are a little old at this point, but you would have thought that it wouldn't be as heavy on the yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, it all comes down to how optimized the games are, and I don't know. Even with what we saw, right? Like the hang on, 007 First Light gameplay. Let me put that on. Even with like the gameplay that we have seen, right? And if you just like go all the way, where is it? There were some sections that were like really crazy. Yeah, over here, like this section. If you just keep, yeah, the frame rate in this section drops so heavily, and it is quite crazy. Like how intense that gets. Like it's so heavy on the graphic card, like it's dropping. Look at that. It's dropping frames so much. This to me is purely because of poor optimization. I get it. Like there's a lot going on in the scene, lots of particles flying around, and you're in a moving vehicle. So there's a moving background. There's a lot of shit's going down here, but you can't see what's going on here right now. This was okay when they showed it off because it's still a game in working development, and I hope they fix that as well. But if this is right, I'm assuming this is running on high-end PC, or maybe it's running on the console. I don't know. Even if it's running on the console, clearly, if this is happening, that means it's still not optimized for the console. If it's running on a PC, they wouldn't be running this on a mid PC. They will be running this on a high-end PC, and if they're still getting this kind of performance, that's questionable, right? So again, my point is, it comes down to how well optimized the game is. We have seen that are games that are much bigger than these achieve smooth performance through really good optimization. So I really hope that IO Interactive actually work on it a little bit more, and hopefully, you know, get it down to a point where the game scales a little better with the PC specs. Because like, I mean, I'm not comparing this to a game like, let's say, Where Winds Meet, which is a huge game, by the way. It's an amazing. It's a free to play game though, so there are still issues with the game. I'm not saying it's perfect, but they have managed to get a game like that, even though it's free to play. You know that it's a massive game. It scales down to a mobile phone, and it runs pretty well on it. I have tried it on my iPhone, and it runs pretty well on my iPhone, and it's running really well on my PC on lower specs as well. So it comes down to optimization. So if you haven't done that, you're gonna you're gonna have to request players to have these kind of bizarre PC specs. So I hope by the time the game actually releases that they have managed to work on it a little bit more, and those recommended specs are just that, just recommended, and the game will run quite smoothly even below that. That's my hope. That's my hope. So let's see. Let's see. What do you think? As always, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so speaking of optimization, I want to talk about Resident Evil Requiem because Nvidia just showcased the game showing the Raccoon City, which is very cool. And I thought I will check it out with you guys. I just saw a screenshot of it. I haven't actually seen the game. It's the video itself. It's a very quick video, just like 51 seconds. It's not that long, but I thought I'll watch it with you because you know it'll be fun. But this is it. It's a Resident Evil Requiem 4K path tracing and NVIDIA DLSS 4 trailer. Enjoy. That's the Raccoon. Ooh. Very moody. Love it. That is a lot more frames than I need, but okay. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, it's a very short video, but yeah, you get to see snippets of the Raccoon City and how it's portrayed in the game, and it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I am so hyped for this game. It wasn't a game that it wasn't a game that I was particularly interested in until I actually saw more and more gameplay of it, and the return of Kennedy, and now I'm intrigued. Now I'm intrigued. I really want to play the game. So this is also, if you watch my most anticipated 2026 games video, I have mentioned this to be one of my topics for this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. And being able to play this on PC with ray tracing is gonna be epic and very scary. Very scary. I have been requested to play this game at midnight with the lights off. I don't know, dude. I don't know if I'm brave enough, but I'm gonna try to do that for you guys. Let me know if that's something you want to see me do. I haven't done a scary video game stream before. So if I do, this will be my first. So yeah, let me know if that's something you want to see me do. I don't know if I want to see me do it, but if you want to see me do it, I'll do it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, that's it. It's just that. I just wanted to show you that because it's really cool. Anyway, moving on. Um, What have we got here? What else have we got? We got oh dude. Okay, all right. Sony. We haven't talked about Sony in a while, have we? So let's start. They have patented AI technology that can play games for you. Let me say that again. Sony has patented AI technology that can play the game for you. So apparently, there's a new Sony patent that surfaced called Ghost Player, which is AI tech that can not only guide the player who are stuck, but also play the games for you. This would probably be Sony's attempt at evolving their hint system that's currently in place for PS5. I don't know how many people actually use it. To be honest, I have used it a little bit myself in the past when I have been stuck. Although it doesn't support all the games, so some of the times that I needed some guidance, it didn't have the guidance because it's not supported. But in the instance that it did, it was actually pretty cool to be able to see what I could do, what I should be doing next, right on the console without having to click out or anything or pull out your phone and try to do research. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you should be able to do this. So what's the next step? The natural progression of that. Obviously, have an AI guide that can guide you through the game, or have the game if you're really stuck and can't complete that specific mission, get the AI to play for you. There are good things and bad things about this whole thing. Okay, first of all, I have to tell you, Sony always does this. Like they are known to patent new tech like years in advance before it's even a thing. So most likely this is just a patent and for a concept of something that doesn't really exist as of yet. I think they're just trying to work uh, something along the lines of that, but they have patented it already just so that no one else jumps ship. So that makes sense. So this is probably like years and years away. I don't even know whether it'll be like a PS6 things, probably, but I don't know. I mean, the technology is moving pretty fast these days, so we don't know. But we have seen this happen. We already seen like multiple patents for the DualSense controller that discuss introducing conductive ink and replacing the touchpad with a touchscreen. We've seen that kind of crazy stuff, but not all patents that they do actually come to fruition and come to reality. They just like to keep these patents on hold just in case, so no one else can do it. Sony's crazy like that. So yeah, so this is just a patent. So don't be alarmed. It's supposed to be a guide mode or complete mode. That's what they call it apparently. Um, this report. So this is what it says. Okay, let me just open it up. There it is. This is the one I'm talking about. So Sony, as described in patent documents, Ghost Player would see players call down an AI-generated ghost version of the player character, which could either play out the solution to a particular part of the level or complete it entirely. The patent was originally filed in September 2024, but the World Intellectual Property Organization published an international status report on the patent this week. For example, if a player was stuck on a puzzle in an Uncharted game, the guide mode would seemingly present an AI controlled Nathan Drake demonstrating the solution before the player did it themselves. The complete mode would simply complete the section for the player. Modes in games that assist with puzzles and combat challenges are common. Many games will allow players to skip encounters or lower the difficulty if they find them too challenging, and puzzle games often include a hint system for those who are completely stuck. However, some modern Sony titles such as God of War Ragnarok have been criticized for giving the player too much assistance with puzzles, due to NPC companions loudly hinting at the solution to puzzles as soon as they begin. Yeah, this has been an issue, but I think in the more recent years, people have tried to, at least the newer games that's been coming out, have tried to do less hand holding for the gamer, which is refreshing to see. We've got a ton of games last year alone uh, where people, you know, you were not expected to be handheld at all. Like you were not handheld at all by the game. You were just dropped in the world and you were left to your own devices to figure shit out, and which is awesome. Like Atomfall was one of them. What's the other one with the weird white ghost, white thingy? Oh, what is it called? Damn, I forgot. I even tried. Oh, the Hell is Us. Hell is Us was also one of those games. No, absolutely no hand holding whatsoever, which was fantastic. KCD is also one of them. KCD 2. Even Ghost of Yotei. Eh, no, I think it had hand holding. But the interesting thing is, you could turn it all off if you want. So it had hand holding, but if you really want to get lost in the world and figure everything on your own, you could do it. You could turn everything off in the system and just do your own thing. So it had the option for it, which is good. It's always welcome. So, as I was saying, yeah, this is obviously this is just the process chart showing how that works. It's claimed that the AI model will be trained on existing footage of the game instead of being a pre-recorded series of inputs set by a developer. The AI-generated Ghost Player system appears to be an evolution of the PS5 game Help system, which was launched alongside the PlayStation 5. Hello, Gabriella. How's it going? Welcome to my stream. First stream of the year. Uh, so again, I don't think this is going to be something that we can expect for PS5. Maybe even not PS6. Don't even know if that's coming anymore because of all the RAM shortages going on at the moment. But yeah, maybe we might see it in implemented in PS6 whenever it comes out, or even much later down the road. It could be something they introduce much later after the launch of PS6 as a software update. Who knows? Who knows? Which is what they did with the hint system for PS5. If you remember, the hint system wasn't even available at launch of the PS5. They sort of gradually introduced that into games after the release of the console. So might see something like that happen with PS6 with this, but it's interesting. I don't know whether this is something that can be controlled by the developer or this is something that Sony has full control over, which is my concern. Because imagine you being able to have an AI driven sidekick or a co pilot for the game that you're playing. If it's a single player game, like an open world game, it's just where it's just you, makes sense. But how would it affect games that are like online multiplayer games like Battlefield or Arc Raiders or any other game that you play that has a team, right? So how would that affect games like that? That's my concern, because if it is something that could be controlled by the developer, then that's fine, because then developers can put a block on it and say, okay, you can't use it on multiplayer at all. You're stuck with it. Then that's fine. That's also issue pretty easily. But if this can be done to any game over like the Sony's user interface, then like be able to override whatever the developer has put in place, then that would lead to some interesting situations, I think. So yeah, I I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. But yeah, Sony have always done crazy patents like this. They don't even have the technology yet, but they think of the concept and they just patent it. And I think this is probably one such case where, they have come up with this idea of a ghost player playing playing the game for you whenever you're stuck in the game, which is a natural evolution of the hint system that they have in place. But how are they going to achieve that with AI? I don't know. So they're probably still figuring that part out, and we're probably not going to see it for years to come. So we're probably okay for now. Probably okay for now. But we'll see how that plays out. Because I don't know if you remember, but there was an announcement by Ubisoft called Teammates. We don't have any footage, or I don't have anything that I can show you, but they practically just put out like a tweet saying they're working on something called Teammates, which is a game where you have AI companions, like AI NPCs with you, that you can give commands to with your natural voice in real time, and they will do whatever you ask them to do in the game. And you also have like a Iron Man Jarvis type of like user interface for the game as well, where you just control it with your voice. Sounds cool on paper, but we don't have any footage of that, so I don't know how far along they are with it. But yeah, these things are happening in games right now, and I don't think we can avoid it. Anyway, that's just Sony being Sony. Okay, I wanna watch that video, Blood of Dawnwalker video, because boy, I'm so hyped for that game. I know it's coming this year, so all right. It's actually it's 7 minutes long, so we're gonna get through this. So buckle up. I'm gonna put it on. So this is called the Blood of Dawnwalker launch year special, and we have subtitles available. Okay, there you go. Let's watch it and see what they have to say. I'm so hyped for this game, dude. If you don't know, this is a game made by former Witcher 3 devs. So they know what they're doing. And it's got a lot of that Witcher 3 DNA in it, which has me hyped. This will feel my Witcher 4, urge until Witcher 4 drops, I think. It'll keep me busy. Even the music reminds me of Witcher. Even the logo. Yeah, it's coming this year.
Hello everyone.
Hi, and welcome to our 2026 Full Wolf Moon celebration. It's been 1 full year since we've gathered here and unveiled the Blood of Dawnwalker to the world, and what a year it was.
We are really honored and humbled by your amazing reactions to our first intro cinematic trailer, our gameplay videos and presentations.
Yes, and it's been incredible to meet so many of you in person at the events all over the world, including Gamescom, PAX East and West, TwitchCon, or Poznan Game Arena.
I want to thank you all, because hearing from you is what motivates us and inspires us.
Also, when it comes to the feedback, we're making this game for you, and that's why we always want to show you the game in its current state as we progress through different stages of development, even if it sometimes means showcasing content that doesn't fully represent the final quality we're aiming for.
We can't promise to implement all of your suggestions, but we do appreciate them and we always check what can be done. We would like to ask for your trust. We want this game to be great as much as you do.
Yes,
That's
looking forward, The Blood of Dawnwalker launches this year, and we won't reveal the release
get a
date
release
today,
date?
but you can expect to start hearing from us more and more.
We still have so much content to show you. Gameplay features, locations, characters.
Exactly, you haven't even met the entire main cast of characters yet, or creatures, or music.
So, to begin 2026 on high note, we are really excited to present you new The Blood of Dawnwalker main musical theme.
Enjoy, and we'll see you all in the comment sections afterwards. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year and see you soon.
Happy New Year. Okay. I really dig the music, dude. This is a full production, man. This is very reminiscent of Witcher 3 music, which is not surprising. It's got a similar vibe and setting in this game. It's like very Witchery, but at the same time not really. I wonder if the same people did the music. I don't know what it is. If you do know, let me know. It's always fascinated me how these pieces of music string together so well in the game. Because when you play in the game, you don't even realize how these symphonies blend together. It's crazy. It's always a masterpiece how they do that in games. Something that you don't even notice, but something so very carefully and done with a lot of thought behind it. It's amazing. Blood of Dawnwalker. Okay, so we get to hear some music in this game. That's cool. That's cool. I thought we'll.
Imagine what
Oh, hang on. There's more. There's more. There's more.
wonders await.
Ooh.
I will fix it.
Okay. Also, I saw there was a story teaser.
Imagine what
Oh, I
wonders
think-
await.
Oh, okay. It's just that part. It's just that part that we just saw, because it's only like 38 seconds long. Okay, so that's all we go for now. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's just enough to keep you hype for the game. I think I don't think they have given a specific release date for it, if I am correct. Let me see. Yeah, no, they haven't given a specific release date. They've just said it's coming in 2026. That's all they have said. Haven't confirmed the release date. Which makes me think it will probably towards the end of the year. Probably towards the end of the year, yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, let's move on because hold on. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the whole situation with PlayStation ROM keys leak, PlayStation 5 ROM keys leak, and the whole jailbreaking concerns around it. I see. I've got a few comments on my old videos. People seem to be a little bit confused about what's going on, and some people seem to think this was a hack that concerned the players, but it's not really concerning the players. This is just to do with the PlayStation 5 hardware, actually. Um, there were some recent claims that surfaced on social media saying that PlayStation 5 ROM keys have been obtained and leaked online. And if these claims are accurate, it means that jailbreakers will now have a pretty easy time busting into the console's operating systems. This has been reported as an unpatchable issue because um, it's um, it's not something. This is not a kernel exploit. This has been it's not a kernel exploit that can be patched with a firmware update. This is a hardware root of trust. So it is just out in the wild now. These ROM keys, and these are the most deepest, most protected layer of the console security architecture. That's directly tied to the hardware, and it's been leaked, and this cannot be patched with a update because of that. So that's where it is at. That's the whole thing. This has nothing to do with the players or their information or anything like that. This just means that now the ROM keys are out in the open for people to grab. Anyone who jailbreaks, not anyone who jailbreaks, people like you are pretty much a step closer to securing a jailbroken PS5 console, and it just makes it that much easier. But does that mean that we will start seeing a lot of jailbroken consoles out there? Probably not, because it looks like you know, there are other security thresholds for jailbreakers to contend with, but this is still certainly a foot in the door. So eventually, we might actually see jailbroken consoles, and also, this just means that if you have a jailbroken console, you can just pretty much play anything you want, as long as you have a physical disc version of it, and not the digital one, obviously. So this also means that we're probably gonna see a heavy price hike for the PlayStation 5 with the CD, the Blu-ray disc version. Probably see a price hike for that, and a lot more demand for that, because some people are gonna try to get a PS5 with a Blu-ray disc drive in it, the Blu-ray disc version, and try to jailbreak it themselves. If you're tech savvy, and some people are gonna wanna get those and jailbreak it themselves and sell them for a higher price. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Is this affecting anything in terms of current players or what they play right now? No, absolutely not. This is a security issue that pretty much concerns Sony themselves, and I don't know what they're going to do about it, but this is out in the open. I just want to put it out there. If you're a player, if you have a PS5, you don't have to be concerned. This has nothing to do with your personal information being leaked or anything like that. It's not a hack like that. It's just people figured out a way to hack into the PlayStation 5's architecture and secure the ROM keys that allows you to play any game physically and remove that protection layer that's in place for PS5. That's my understanding of it. Obviously, I'm not a tech savvy guy. I'm just a gamer who play games. I'm not a tech guy, so this is just my understanding of it. So if I'm wrong, correct me, but that's my understanding of it, and you have nothing to worry about. If you're just the average consumer, a gamer, player who just want to play your games, buy your games and play them, you can still do that, no issue. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, okay. Well, I think that's it for me today, actually. I know it's been a shorter stream than usual, but I think I'm gonna stop it here, because I would like to get some hours into my gaming today before I call it a day. And I will see you guys again on Saturday. Like I said, I am not this week or the week after. I'll still be doing the midweek stream and the weekend stream next week as well. But after that, I'm gonna be switching to just weekend streams on Saturdays. So you can see me on the weekend if you want to. If not, that's okay too. That's all right. But yeah. Yeah, I'm working on a couple of videos, so I'll be working on that. You'll get to see that in the near future. That's all I would say. All right. That's it from me. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Until then, enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you for joining in. And if you enjoy my stuff, please go check out my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that you do that. And if you like that stuff, please put a like, please comment what you think, and subscribe. Thank you very much, because subscribing really does help my channel grow. So thank you for doing that. I'll see you guys soon. Love you very much. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.
Alright, try the paradigm. The underdog's walking off. Baby! Thanks for hanging out for laughs, memes, and gaming clout. Even if I tripped, lost, or failed, you stuck around and that prevailed. We checked trailers, spilled the tea, mispronounced a game or three. Call of Duty fails, oh that's me, but the chat laughed along, pure victory. Grab your snacks, hydrate up, don't fall asleep. I'll be back soon with news to peep. The underdog may stumble, trip, or rage, but you're the legends who fill my stage. Grab your snacks, hydrate up, don't fall asleep. I'll be back soon with news to peep. The underdog may stumble, trip, or rage, but you're the legends who fill my stage.
Attention chat. Jaybeazt is officially signing off. He may try to explain the plot of a game he hasn't played, argue with NPCs about story choices, or get stuck in a tutorial forever. And if someone says something wild in chat, he might go,
Oh mate, don't say that! Thanks for surviving the chaos, laughing at my fails, and pretending my Call of Duty aim is fine. Catch you next time, same underdog energy, less chaos, maybe. But thanks for surviving the chaos, laughing at my fails, and pretending my Call of Duty aim is fine. Catch you next time. Same underdog energy, less chaos, maybe.